Hello and welcome back to the fourth Legend of the Stars qualifying tournament. Alright, we are down to just two players in the bottom bracket, so they are going to battle it out to find out who gets through to face Nexus of Reality for the final of this. They've already secured spots in the tournament, of course, because you get more than one spot for each of these qualifying tournaments. It's not just the winner. So we have got a nom bringer with us once again. I hope you have brought your noms today. We're going to find out ZLO and Blodir who is going to take it out. Alright, we're going to head over to open waters, and apologies, I have not got a intro for that, so we're just going to go straight into the game and get some action and unpause it.
Alright, so open waters map, I haven't seen people playing in a while. It's not a bad map, but just doesn't seem to be that popular these days, and it could be just because it's fairly tricky to play. It's not like a map, you can't just build a bunch of factories, build a bunch of units, you're constantly microing drops, you've got to worry about air control the whole time. When to go Navy is critical, and ZLO choosing his, once again, copying Speed's color, which I'm not sure I'm a fan of. It's a bit wrong to see an Aeon in that color. It really is.
It is indeed. At least there's no green player to confuse me this time, so I'll be thankful for that. Okay, we have got Blodir in the top right. So of course this is an Aeon mirror matchup. Blodir in his regal purple color. He's throwing down his first land factory. He's going for his first 4 core mixes, and then he'll be heading out to grab that close hydro. We're seeing pretty much exactly the same thing here from ZLO. He's got his first engineer out. He's going to start that hydro any second now. He does have to do a little bit of reclaim first to free up the spot, and then we'll see the ASU joining him in just a moment to get that completed.
Yeah, and once again, I guess we're always going to be watching for the ZLO cheese because we always know it's possible. He can always just pull anything out of the bag. But it is an Aeon versus Aeon. Once again, it's a mirror match. A lot of it's going to be decided by some early Aeon drops, so he's going to have to generally get those out of the way before he decides that he's going to do something completely crazy.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed we didn't actually get to see that com drop before. It just wasn't viable for him, and he just didn't get a chance.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to blame him for not doing it because he correctly realized that he didn't, but man, I would have loved to see it.
I don't know if we've actually seen any com drops like that in any of these Legend of the Stars tournaments, have we? I don't know, maybe last time. I don't think I reviewed all the games from last time. Maybe we have, but it's certainly not been a common occurrence. I think these guys probably are just playing a little bit too seriously because there's a big prize up for grabs, so that's 500 bucks, well, it's Australian dollars, so it's $500 dues, and that's first prize. So these guys definitely want to play their A game and get those spots in this final tournament. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, but like we've seen, ZLO, he's not afraid to try. He's not going to do something suboptimal, but he's not afraid to do something risky, and that's always really nice to see from a top player.
Blodir
okay,
going...
so ZLO.
What?
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah,
ZLO going for a very early transport.
Very early, so he's obviously going to focus on these expansions. There's a lot of mass extractors around here. We can see there's, what is that, 9 mass extractors and a hydro just on that side. So if he was able to take the entire island, that's 18 mass extractors. That's pretty significant. There's another 6 on the center island. So that transport is definitely going to be part of a strategy to get out there, grab a whole stack of T1 mixes and get his economy online. Blodir is actually slightly ahead in the economy. He's got 1 more mass extractor built so far.
Yeah, and now this will be crucial. Blodir getting his early and scout out. Will he be able to get that transport? ZLO really pushed and rushed that out.
Oh,
but Blodir's scout seems to be just in time.
This is painful
this
to watch.
This is not looking good.
It comes around. The arc is real. Ow.
ZLO needs to drop.
No.
Oh.
He got it away, so he is going to lose the transport. The engineers, they got halfway across to that island, but still, that is unfortunate for ZLO.
Yeah, okay, and this is nice. I like what ZLO's doing. He's decided, right, this transport hasn't worked, so I'm just gonna rush Navy. But that's good. Like, he's come back. He's working with what he has. He has 6 engineers in the pond for no reason at all. But hey, I'm going to use them. I'm going to build a Navy factory and I'm going to get a frigate out.
That'll give him a bit of early naval power. The naval factory from Blodir is just about to come online. He's using his ACU to build that, but he's doing a better job of that expansion. He actually did get his transport away. He's got engineers landed on that left-hand island. He's building 4 mixes at once for some reason. He must have an abundance of mass. Well, he's got enough.
That is nice to see. That's a very, very quick expansion. And remember, every second now that ZLO doesn't have that expansion, that's free mass for Blodir. That's mass ZLO doesn't have, and those mixes pay themselves off very, very quickly.
Okay, that naval factory is just about to get that frigate rolled off. I'm not sure if he can do much with a single frigate just at this point.
ZLO scouted that transport at the top, but wasn't in time to stop Blodir getting those NGs down. And if ZLO doesn't come up with something fast, he's going to be in a very, very bad position. He doesn't have a presence on either of the sides. Blodir's already secured the left side, and he's on his way to securing the right side as well. I mean, this is really not looking good.
Not at all, and ZLO's got a scout overhead, so he will be seeing the stream of units rolling out. So a bunch of labs coming up for Blodir. They're just going to roll all over that island, make it very, very difficult for ZLO to get a drop in. He's going to have to drop combat units first now, which is going to make it infinitely more difficult to secure that expansion. About the only chance he has left is up on this top right, where he does have a single engineer on the ground, but he needs a whole lot more than that, because there was, how many, 4 engineers on the ground for Blodir up there. They're all getting to work on those mixes. 4 simultaneous mixes, exactly the same time they complete. That is very nice, and he already has that factory, so he's going to be able to start spewing out even more units. That's going to be very difficult. There is a drop of 5 engineers from ZLO, so that is in place.
Yeah, ZLO transferring some of those engineers that were back at the naval factory to try and get it, but the problem is Blodir has the left side. If Blodir can just not lose the right side and just contest it, he's going to have so much mass from the left side that he's just going to be able to roll ZLO over. So if I was ZLO right now, I'd be thinking, what can I do to get back into the game?
If we look at the scoreboard, it's almost 2-to-1 mass differential already. That is pretty significant. And for some reason, ZLO's actually opted for a first hydro. He must be really short on power to go for a hydro before a factory or point defense or radar or anything. So that is really interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, to be honest. I mean, ZLO's really just not having the game of his life. He's got a lot of idle engineers in base. Both sides are looking bad. He's trying to get his comm out to the other side. But Blodir, this is what Blodir does. Blodir loves this position. He can just eco. Like, what more could he ask for? He's just going to build some mixes and wait to see what ZLO does. And he has so much economy. I don't know what ZLO's going to do.
Yeah, he's going to, actually he's going to bring his ACU across, so his plan looks to be to contest this expansion with his ACU, which definitely would work at least to start with, but there are now a couple of factories online. Blodir could probably produce enough Auroras out of that by the time he realizes what's happening to be able to push that ACU back, because of course Auroras can kite that ACU. It's probably not the best sort of plan that ZLO's got there, but he doesn't have a lot of choice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if this had happened later on, he'd have the economy to decide to do something cheesy or crazy or something like that. But right now, he doesn't have the economy to cheese. So he just has to try everything he can to just get some X's, get some maths. So even though he's behind, he just needs something to work with. Although, I think we are seeing a T2 air factor coming up from ZLO in his base. So he's decided what he's going to do.
He's behind on mass, he's behind on power. I'm not sure how he can get an advantage with T2 air right now.
Yeah, especially if Blodir is paying attention. As soon as he sees that Tech 2 upgrade, he's going to stick every single engineer he has in his base onto his Tech 1 air factory, build ints, gain air superiority, and then ZLO's options are cut. He did scout it with some T1 scouts.
Actually, what is
so
this?
He knows it's coming.
On the left, there is a drop here from ZLO. I don't know quite what the plan is there. A single engineer against a whole stack, against the whole base. I'm not quite sure what the plan is.
Pretty much, he's just using up APM. He's just being annoying, right? He wants time to do his things. He needs time in his base, and he's just saying, I'm just going to annoy Blodir. Give me some time. I'm going to reclaim that bottom expansion. At least I've got 4 mexes on the right. I'm just going to occupy his attention. If you look at it, he dropped engineers on the center as well. And despite the fact that Blodir had a good presence there, he was just paying more attention. Now he's won the entire Central Island Black. So at least he has something to work with now.
Yeah, it goes some way to making up for the vast difference in mass, because it's 63 to 41. It's not as bad as it was. It's not retaining the 2-to-1 advantage that Blodir had. And
yeah, and he has 1 air.
Yeah.
Once again, that's going again. I'm not sure Blodir needed to invest quite so much into T1 Navy here.
We have torpedo bombers.
Yep, and ZLO going for a quick T2 power generator in his base, a good choice, much more efficient than the Tech 1 ones, and he knows that Blodir doesn't have access to them either. Blodir spamming up some Tech 1 air factories to try and deal with the fact that ZLO just won air, but ZLO won it really, really decisively. He has 10 interceptors left over, and that's 10 interceptors that ZLO gets to reuse, and Blodir doesn't.
Yeah, really interesting with the torpedo bombers here. I'm not sure whether he's going to be going after the Navy, because the ACU for Blodir is also out in the water, and that could definitely force him back onto the land.
Yeah, it could. Where is Blodir's ACU actually? I've gone blind.
Out by his naval factories.
Oh yeah. So Blodir, I mean, the thing is, he's still in the lead. He's let ZLO get back into it a little bit. But he still has all of the left, he still has the right, he's still in the lead, nothing horrible's gonna happen if he just plays correctly, scouts everything, and doesn't overreact to anything. He just needs to eco, do what he does best.
Right, and Blodir is back on the land now. I'm not sure whether he spotted the torpedo bombers or if he just had enough of his swim, but yeah, he's back on his island now. Is he doing anything at all? Is he on upgrade? No, he's just chilling.
Yeah, I expect Blodir will invest heavily into Tech 1 Air. Just try everything to stop. ZLO's one asset right now is the Central Island, and the fact that he has air. If Blodir can win back air, it's over. There go all of ZLO's options. ZLO knows this, so he's decided to produce swift wins out of his Tech 2 Air factory.
And it looks like Blodir's response is to start building shards, so he's going to have those Tech 1 anti-air boats cruising around. That's going to just help out his air fight a little bit, but I'm not sure it's enough because there's roughly even numbers, slight advantage to ZLO there, but then there's also those few swift ones as well, so ZLO definitely still able to take out the interceptor force for Blodir.
Yeah, and a Tech 2 transport coming out from ZLO, and that has been rallied to his commander.
Interesting. So we did just see a Tech 2 upgrade. It's just completed on his ACO. What is he going for now? He's going for another upgrade. He's getting gun. He's getting that very, very quickly.
He may very well be going for it. He may just try and kill him, like, commander to commander.
Well, I mean, Blodir doesn't have a lot of support around his ACU. He is on a...
But he can just retreat into the water.
He
can just retreat into the water. ZLO needs to get torpedo bombers or win Navy, if this is going to work.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of torpedo bombers. He may be able to pop a few more out, because if he can knock out the Navy enough to let those torpedo bombers have free reign on a commander in the water and an ACU on land, yeah, he could possibly pincer him.
ZLO has air, but Blodir's got a pretty decisive advantage in Navy. I can't see ZLO winning that anytime soon. There will be an engagement on the left, but it looks like Blodir's going to be winning. And ZLO boarding his transport, I think he must have finished the gun, so we are going to see our comm drop.
Very nice. Okay, so in comes ZLO. Whereabouts is he dropping? Oh, he's actually dropping in the back of Blodir's base. So he's going after the base.
Well, he doesn't know that Blodir's ACU is there. So...
He just flew over the top of it, so he will have seen it. But
yeah.
He's got one engineer and the ACU together, so he's going to start throwing down some Tech 1 point defense. He's got that T2 suite on board, so he is going to be able to spam those up reasonably quickly. There are a lot of engineers up there building T1 PD in response, though. Is he going to be able to knock those out? Yeah, he is.
I'm not sure how he's going to make this work, though. Like, how is he going to make this work? I mean, he has his comm there. Great. If Blodir can get his comm off this island, he could easily just use the bottom left base, though, right? Although ZLO being ZLO is already raiding it with a gunship while Blodir's attention is occupied.
Very nice. So he throws down an Oblivion turret. So ZLO is making a pretty good play here for the main base of Blodir. So Blodir is actually going to run straight on in, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's a bit risky. I mean, he could easily just walk his comm away to his island base, build some power there, and then just kill ZLO with the destroyer. There's no need to risk the comm, because Blodir has a destroyer coming in really soon, so why is his comm coming up?
Very interesting indeed. So he's still got T1 and T2 point defense to contend with. So Blodir is having to back right up. That leaves ZLO in a pretty good position of that part of Blodir's base, but there's a lot of bombers coming in. There's a little bit of AA to try and deal with them, but that's T2. Did you say there's a destroyer online? Yeah, there we go. Down here, there's a T2 naval factory. So
yeah.
And if Blodir can wait him out, he can just bring a destroyer in and totally destroy all that ZLO's built there.
For the comm drop to succeed, ZLO needs air or navy. You need at least one. You can't afford to do this and not have... I mean, this was the right decision for ZLO. I just don't think it should work. And I mean, he has managed to get Blodir's power, but how's he gonna do this? It's just not looking good for him.
No, he's still on full health, so he really hasn't taken any damage. Blodir has taken quite a bit of damage, but I mean, all the cards are in Blodir's favour right now. It's beside his base, it's beside his naval production. In fact, all that naval production is paused. He's focusing entirely on these destroyers down here on that production. ZLO didn't manage to hold on to air though very well. There's still been a lot of interceptors around for Blodir. He's got a few swift ones out now, but he hasn't definitely hasn't maintained air control throughout. Taking a little bit of fire from point defense.
Yeah, ZLO, he's managed to get a factory up, which is a big deal because then he can kill the artillery.
So in fact, those Ferbers are doing a pretty good job of dealing with some of the boats sitting in the bay there. Meanwhile, ZLO's sitting there just reclaiming. That's a very nice touch. While the beach is blocking the direct fire. Well, that's interesting camera work. So blocking the direct fire from those Tech 1 point defense. ZLO actually down into the water right beside Blodir, and what are they going to do? They're going to build torpedo launchers. That's interesting. So ZLO still has more build capacity on board than Blodir does, because Blodir didn't get that Tech 2 upgrade. But wow, ZLO just taking an absolute battering from those Tech 1 point defense. What is he doing there? He is going to need to capture those. There he goes. One, he's down into the yellow though, 3,700, 3,600. He is not looking very good at all. Blodir's still on 4,500. Blodir is on enough to survive.
Yeah, torpedo bombers coming in from ZLO though. He's been microing his base the entire time, saving up torpedo bombers.
Oh, what is going... He's down to 3,500. ZLO sitting on 1,400. Those Tech 1 PD now working for ZLO and hitting Blodir's ACU. This is looking very, very dicey. So ZLO sitting on 1,600 HP, but he does have the point defense on his side now. Blodir just popping out of the water whenever he can, just to try and lay down a little bit more damage. I think he's trying to get ZLO's ACU without dropping below that critical 2,500 HP mark before he will die in an explosion in a mutual ball of fire. He is sitting on 2,700, 2,400 now. He has dropped below the threshold. They are going to mutual KO. Wow. Okay, so the torpedo bombers managed to, and the PD managed to drop Blodir's HP just enough to get a mutual. Wow. Interesting. Okay, so that was the first part, it seems, of Blodir versus ZLO. We haven't been able to get a winner on open waters there, so what we're going to do is load up that next game, which I believe is Crimson Feud, and we're going to get straight into that one. Hopefully we're not going to see another draw. Hopefully we are going to be able to progress to the final. So the winner of this is going to go through, face a Nexus of Reality in the final for this last qualifying tournament. Alright, Nombringer, we are loading up the game. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Awesome. Alright, it is started. Let's just jump straight on in. And Crimson Feud it is.
Yeah, and one thing I really want to mention here is it is not nice to not win that game. From Blodir's perspective, I can't imagine he's too happy with himself right now. I don't know if it's going to affect his play, but it is something to consider. ZLO's going to be feeling good. Blodir is going to be kicking himself. He did not win that game because he had everything in the bag there.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see something a little bit rash. Oh, well, we'll see. All right, we've got
From Blodir, an extra T2 mix.
All right, we've got ZLO in the top right-hand corner. He has gone Cybran this time, so we're no longer seeing a faction mirror matchup. And fortunately, he has gone back to his customary green color, so I'll be able to tell which one is ZLO and which one is Blodir. He's going to throw down that first land factory. He is going for double adjacency on those mixes, well, as best as he can anyway, and he's going to get the 4 core mixes and start the hydro. Blodir in the bottom left is going to get adjacency on his land factory, get his 4 core mixes and assist that hydro. He's going to then put down 2 Tech 1 power generators, and well, judging by just 2, we're probably going to see land from these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it is Cybran against Aeon, so if we get into a spam war, the Auroras are going to be horrible for ZLO to face. But if ZLO can get the Mantis in, could get some raids off, maybe an early Tech 2, maybe win air, get some bombers and jesters, those Auroras are going to melt. So that's probably why Blodir's decided to go second air. He's decided he just can't afford to lose air against a Cybran on a map like this.
So yeah, we've seen this a couple of times now where ZLO has relied heavily on air, and I mean, against Aeon, he's probably going to rely heavily on air once again because those Tech 1 bombers are just so effective against the Auroras. The problem is that we've seen it a couple of times where he just gets shut down by the Swift ones. He isn't able to hold on to that air past that early T1 stage. He makes a bit of gains with those T1 bombers, but just can't hold on to it.
And interestingly, he has gone for second land, so he's going to be, I'm guessing, building some very heavy Mantis, going for raids, banking on the fact that Blodir is scared of his airplay. Blodir going second air, rushing out a bomber, ZLO's going to be rushing out Mantis, so there's going to be a lot of micro coming up for both players soon as the Mantis come in, try and pick off the engineers, and as Blodir's bomber comes out.
Right, Blodir very heavily prioritising that reclaim in the top left corner. He is going to bring that engineer up. It's got an escort with it as well, and there is a ton of mass in there. Those are all T2 wrecks, so there's a good 1,000-ish, well, maybe not quite 1,000, but a pretty big chunk of mass in any case. He's bringing the bomber across to the right-hand side just to try and pick off any engineer coming out from ZLO that was thinking about doing the same, but the scout that he's just put overhead has revealed that there's a engineer back here, so that is a beeline for the bomber. Out goes the bomb, and direct hit on that engineer. That's going to deny quite a bit of reclaim to ZLO.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big victory right there. The fact that Blodir has this is a lot of mass, and he won't be able to spend it immediately because he simply won't have the power. If ZLO can get another engineer fast, he might be able to save it. But now he's having to boost out an interceptor as Blodir's bomber just goes to town over ZLO's base.
Alright, ZLO managed to just come out ahead with the Mantis over the Aurora right there. Unfortunately, he got reclaimed, so a nice bit of micro there from Blodir does save the engineer. Unfortunately, a second Mantis rolls on in and finishes the job. Blodir did manage to grab all of that reclaim though, so very good for him. And engineer's still a wee way off for ZLO.
Yeah, I mean, that engineer's job was done. That Mantis was just too late from ZLO. It was just too late.
And in fact, we can see a nice cheeky move there from Blodir. He is going to try and pick up that mass on the right-hand side as well with an engineer that's now coming out of his base. I'm not sure if he's going to get that there in time. There are going to be a few Mantis on board to defend against that. So it looks like ZLO may be able to hold the area. He still can't get his hands on that mass though. He just needs that engineer all the way out to the front.
Yeah, but one thing to notice though is that because ZLO got that second land with his ACU, he was able to build the hydro first, and Blodir has actually been power stalling minus 100 for the past couple of minutes because he forced out that bomber so early. So ZLO's eco has actually been in a lot better shape, which is why you're seeing that score lead from ZLO. Yes, Blodir got the bomber, yes he denied the reclaim, but he power stalled to do it. So ZLO isn't behind from this as you would think.
And that reclaim is still there for him to pick up. He's secured the area, so it is just waiting for him. So he will be able to grab it in just a minute. And he grabbed a little bit in the center there as well. So we can see there was a few wrecks that have been picked up in the middle.
Yeah, and Blodir, I think, he's started upgrading some T2 mexes and then cancelled them. And he's got 2 half-done ones, so that's not looking particularly good. And he's got Mantis running in, just everywhere. That power stall has really cost him.
He's trying to mop up with bombers those Mantis. He does get rid of the ones that are in his base already. There's a few more already. They took out a Aurora that was up the front. Those guys are poised to move in, and there's more Mantis coming in. The ACU, though, will be able to move in and deal with those. Alright, looks like ZLO is actually going to bring his ACU right to the center, maybe even pick up some of that mass. How is he looking for mass right now? He is on 300 in the bank. He could do with a little bit more, and there we go. He is going to stop and just scoop those up. That is going to help him out a little bit. We've got quite a lot of Medusas and Mantis in the center here, and not a lot that Blodir has to stop it. There's a few Auroras around, but really nothing like the numbers he would need to stop an assault like that from ZLO.
Yeah, and I mean, ZLO's mixing in those Medusas. The Medusas may not be the fastest at killing point defense, but they have great spread and they're great for killing Aurora. And ZLO, you can see, he's going all in. He's just queued up a bunch of Tech 1 Lamb factories. He's seen that Blodir doesn't have much, and he's just going to go right for it.
Yes, we can see a flood of green just making its way across the map. It's just going to come in. Right now, there's really very little to stop him. He's just going to pause for a second with his issue. I think it's actually pathfinding issues while he gets wrapped up in his own Mantis. How many Auroras has Blodir got ready to respond to this threat? And it looks like maybe a dozen Auroras. That is really not enough to deal with an ACU and all of that spam that's coming up behind him. He does have to watch out for the bombers. There are quite a few interceptors though. There's 4 hovering over there. So ZLO looking like he's managed to retain enough air control so that bombers are not going to be a problem.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just so much spam. He saw he had nothing, and this is the thing about ZLO. He doesn't just cheese. He plays the correct thing. He sees that Blodir doesn't have anything. He goes all in for the Tech 1 despite the fact that he's Cybran, and he's getting a really big attack right now.
And he did remember, of course, to bring Medusas with him, so those Tech 1 point defense are not going to be a problem. So those emergency PD going up on Blodir, they are just not going to last. It's nothing that Blodir has actually got right now that can really deal with it. If ZLO had that gun upgrade as well on his ACU, he would be completely unstoppable. And in fact, he's looking pretty unstoppable as it is with the few numbers of Auroras that are actually on the ground for Blodir.
Yeah, and here's the thing, as an Aeon player, you don't really expect a Cybran player to just roll you over with Tech 1 spam. I mean, that's your job with the Auroras, right? But, I mean, it looks kind of like what's happening. There's just Mantis and Medusa everywhere.
Looks like ZLO is just pulling back a little bit. He doesn't want to get too many losses out of his T1 spam. He's just dodging with his ACU, just occupying all of the furthers up there for Blodir, occupying Blodir's ACU. Blodir's on 6,400 HP and 8,200 for ZLO, so not a huge difference in it, even though ZLO is still up in the green. The lower health on that side of ACU just causing a little bit of problems there.
The thing is, all ZLO needs to do is just hold this position. If he can keep Blodir contained inside his base, he's just going to starve him. He's going to get the mass on the outskirts. He's got engineers expanding there already. And if Blodir can't break out of this bind that ZLO's set up, ZLO's going to wait, he's going to starve Blodir, and Blodir's just going to fold in on himself because he can't produce anything.
Blodir managing to do a reasonable amount of damage, but just look at all the spam. It's just continuing to roll on in. We've just got this big flood. How many land factories has ZLO got set up on spam there? Quite a few.
And all on Medusas. Just all of the Cybran artillery just...
The ACU's been taking an absolute battering there, down to 2k HP for Blodir. This is not looking good, and ZLO is not relenting. He is just continuing to push forward. There's very, very little Blodir can do right now. He's got his Tech 1 point defense, but they're no good against Medusas. He's got his Auroras, but I mean, there's so many Medusas, they're just raining shells down at range. It is really looking difficult. Blodir is still sitting on 2k HP, but ZLO managing to get back up to nearly 9k. And there's even a Jester in there to boot, so we've got one Jester so far. That is because ZLO does hold the control of the air game. He's going to bring that Jester over and just start peppering away at the ACU. I think there was that veterancy on the ACU there? Or was that just regen back up to 3k, I believe? So he's back up to 3k, just teetering between yellow and red, but just under so much pressure, and meanwhile ZLO has taken the top left and bottom right corners because there's been absolutely nothing. In fact, ZLO hasn't even bothered to pick up all of that reclaim yet that was originally there that he was denied.
Yeah. What he does have is he has engineers behind him reclaiming this fight as it happens. Mantis dying and being reclaimed by this heroic engineer a second later. And like I said, he's just starving Blodir, he's just going to keep pushing through, and Blodir's just run out of mass.
And HP. Wow, okay, so ZLO, not a super cheesy tactic, but super spam, absolutely managing to deal to Blodir, took the map, took the game, and that puts him through to the final. Alright, that was a nice lesson in spam there from ZLO. It lasted just 9 minutes and 40 seconds before he dismissed Blodir out of the tournament, and that means that we are going to a Nexus of Reality versus ZLO final.